¿Me puede explicar, por favor, por qué hay cortinas en las puertas? Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks, and I'm on the outskirts of Madrid today in a place called Morata de Tajuña, a small town. It's with a different type of video today. In fact, this is going to be the first in a series of videos like this. I'm going to travel to small towns around the Madrid community, check out what is happening in these small towns, show you what it's like in these small towns, what people are doing, what they are out and about doing at this time of the day. Around 12:30 p.m. It's a Tuesday afternoon. I'm not expecting a lot of activity, but you never know if you're going to be surprised. So let's go and check out what it's like in this town. Let's go. Now the idea is to go for a walk through the center of the city. As I said, this is not a big town. It's around 8,000 people, I believe. Lots of people work in the capital city, or they're out and about working at the moment. So we're not going to see a lot of people about, but we'll check out some of the main sites and see what people are doing in this town at this time of the day here in Spain. And there we go, the first piece of graffiti that I've come across, and it says, Tu abuela tiene pito, which translates to your grandmother has a penis. So I'm already getting a feel of what it's like to live in a small town like this. Now let's have a look around and see what the architecture's like here. You can see that we've got the typical two-story home here, a picture of the Virgin Mary on the wall there. So I'm getting the idea that people are religious in this town, or at least those people are. And over here we've got a little park with some swings and a place where you can sit down and enjoy the day. But as we can see, nobody doing that at the moment. And always remember to turn off the tap. There we go. Now a very loud tractor coming up the street here now. This is a rural part of Madrid. Lots of farming activity going on. And this guy obviously coming out of the fields. I'll just let him go past because otherwise he won't be able to hear me. But that's an interesting way to get around the town on that little four-wheel drive vehicle. Now we're heading into the center of the town here. We can see an old Bodega de Vino over there. Looks as though it's closed now. That used to be a winery, I think. Not sure what it would be now. The typical business in this area too. Over here, a building that looks a bit run down. The typical sheet on the main doorway. That's quite common in towns in Spain to have these sheets covering the main door. Not sure what the purpose is, maybe to keep out insects. That could be the case. What do we got over there? We've got a laser hair removal place. Don't know whether that's a popular type of business here or not. And let's see what we've got over here. Fairly quiet streets as we can see. And drivers be warned that you do not have preference if you're going through here. So you've got to give way, and that's because two cars might not fit. Now it's always interesting in small towns like this to see what's going on. We've got some roadworks going on over here. Obviously they're down in a ditch trying to fix a problem or improve the system that we've got. In fact, here there's lots of works going on. They seem to be redoing this central area here. Not sure exactly what they're doing. Maybe making it easier to park. And we've come across our first closed business, Tejidos Pares, closed, no activity going on there at the moment. A local walking past here. Workers over there sitting in the excavator, not doing too much work, in no hurry. Got the local police down this street here, and we've got another business that looks to be closed, Fábrica de Anisados, which I think is an aniseed factory, but as I said, closed. Now coming into the main part of the town now, Spanish flags flying. This place is for sale, looks a bit dodgy. And over here we've got a panaderia or a bakery. Now what I will say is that this town is famous for a certain type of pastry. I think in that bakery over there you can get it. There's 3 bakeries in the town apparently. So I might buy one of those and try. They're called palmiers, chocolate palmiers. In Spanish they are called palmera de chocolate. Now another bar closed over here, closed from 11 to 8. Disculpen las molestias. And we've got some people congregating here with babies. So plenty of children around. I've seen more children than I have adults. So I don't know whether that's usual or not. Down into the main strip here, the corner bar, guy scratching his nuts over there also. I'll blur out his face so that he doesn't become a meme on YouTube. And here in the main square, let's have a look what we've got. Not a lot of activity going on. I'm seeing plenty of Spanish flags, I'll say that. And I'm going to look for the town hall building, which I think is here. Casa de Ayuntamiento. Interesting. Again, Spanish flag up there and the Madrid flag too. What else we got going on over here? Let's go down here, see what's happening. Carrefour Express supermarket there. Another bakery over there. So I've seen two bakeries, so lots of people buying bread, obviously. I'll go down this main strip in a minute when I cross the road. That person didn't stop. An activity here, some people having a coffee, which is good to see. Let's have a look through here. Keep walking, bar, bar, bar. So there's at least 5 or 6 bars here. So that's a popular activity, no doubt, sitting at one of these outdoor bars and having a drink. Tobacco shop. So you can get an idea in the main area here of what the typical businesses are, dominated, as we can see, by bars. Now we'll go down this street here also. I can see another bar because there's people sitting outside. So obviously a very popular activity here. I'll turn the camera around so that you can see this here, a bar over there. And from what I'm seeing so far, there's a lot of retired people. A lot of people maybe taking a break at the moment. As I said, it's around 12:35, 12:40 p.m. This looks like a nice area here. Let's check it out. Over there we've got a butcher shop which is closed for vacations from the 18th to the 25th of September. And a nice little square here where people can sit outside again. The kids can play. And you can sort of get an idea of the type of housing that we've got here. We've got houses that have been done up on one side of the street, and on the other side of the street here we've got houses that are completely run down. Now, this part of Madrid, obviously, as I said, agriculture is one of the main industries here. Lots of people would work in the capital city, I imagine. In fact, this area here, this Vega de Madrid, or Las Vegas here in Madrid, is also known as Madrid's orchard. Lots of fruit and veg coming out of this area here. In fact, in the tourist guides, they say that that's one of the things that you can buy here, apart from those chocolate pastries. So let's see if we can find a fruit and veg shop. Again, another example of these curtains in the doorways. I might have to ask somebody what the purpose of that is, but I think it's to keep the insects out, but I could be mistaken. And what's that over there? It looks like some type of church. So let's go and see that one. Very quiet streets, I will say. I'm going to turn the camera around so we can see what's going on. Some sheets up there, and behind the sheets, another Spanish flag. I'm seeing lots of Spanish flags in this town, so very patriotic. Bar here, Pinchos y Tapas. Obviously no outdoor seating, so not getting the clientele that some of those other bars are getting. And whitewashed buildings seem to be common here too. Lots of white buildings, 2 stories. They've got the interior patio. And we're leading down here too. I think it is the church. Let's have a look at the church. What would have been years ago the most important building in the town. Not sure whether it's the same nowadays, because as we know, people are not as religious as they used to be here in Spain, but I'm sure if you came here on a Sunday morning, you would see the faithful people out the front. What's the name of the church there? Can't see, but they've got some renovation works going on too, or maybe setting up some lights, not sure. Fountain, not working. And more Spanish flags in the Plaza de la Iglesia. So not really the most interesting town that I've come across in my travels throughout Spain, but then again, as I said, it's Tuesday at a difficult time of the day because a lot of people are working. I imagine that if you came here at the weekend, it would be a lot busier. People would come from the capital city, Madrid, out here maybe to have lunch. Apparently there are some restaurants that do a roaring trade at the weekend. We'll see if we can find one of those restaurants also. and people coming out here for a quieter lifestyle than they would get in the capital city. So I imagine at weekends it would be a lot busier, but as you guys can see at the moment, not a lot of activity going on. More Spanish flags down there hanging over people's balconies, so that's fairly common. In fact, I haven't seen so many Spanish flags out and about for a long time. In fact, you have to go back to 2018 when the illegal Catalonian referendum was on, that this part of Spain really came out and showed the flags and their sense of nationalism. But that seems to have died off in recent times, but it could be making a comeback. One thing you will see on a lot of homes here in Spain, especially ground floor homes, are these bars, rejas they are called, obviously to stop people getting in. So you get the impression that there is crime in these towns. Here again, bars on the windows, curtains, bars, curtains, bars, no curtains, bars, and flowers creeping through the bars, adding a bit of colour to an otherwise dull street. One thing you will see a lot of in Spain is people standing around, retired people. Not sure what they're looking at over there. They're just having a casual conversation. They probably do that every day, but as we know, Spain, a lot of retired people. Here we have the local health centre, and not a lot of activity there. Not sure whether it's open or closed. And here we've got one of the locals coming out of his home. I'm going to ask him why they have the cortinas. Hola, ¿qué tal, señor? ¿Me puede explicar, por favor, por qué hay cortinas en las puertas?
¿Por qué hay?
Cortinas. Esto.
Por las moscas.
Por las moscas. Vale, vale. Insectos, ¿no? Muchas gracias. Hasta luego. I was right. It's for the insects. But we got a first-hand point of view from that gentleman there. Another one of the locals up there crossing the street, not in a hurry, but there's no traffic, so no need to be in a hurry, of course. Down here, we've got a house that's being rebuilt. Obviously knocked down the one that was there before, putting up something more modern. Maybe a family coming out to live here or something like that. Number 8. And another conversation going on between locals. And a couple coming up here with a loaf of bread. Obviously been down maybe for a drink and to buy bread for lunch. Also very typical here in Spain. People know each other and they stop for a street conversation. And that's either a pro of living in a place like this or a negative aspect of living in a place like this is that you know basically everybody here. And people like me that are not from here stick out like a sore thumb, and even more so considering this look of a tourist that I have. Now I thought I'd come across a fruit shop here, and I have, but it's also closed. Not sure what's going on. There is stock on the shelves, so I imagine it hasn't closed down permanently, but at the moment, no business being done. Now this must be one of the main streets because 3 cars have just gone by. No more coming up the hill, so safe to walk. And I'm also coming up to what I think is the main road, and that'll take us back down into the centre of the town that we saw before, and also one of those bakeries where they sell the famous palmeras de chocolate. Now here we have a restaurant called the Tinaja. Apparently it's one of the better restaurants in the town. Menú del día, 12 euros. Not sure what you would get for those 12 euros, but an interesting price. Let's keep going down here. As I said, going into the main part of the town again. We've got the sign over there for the Piscina Municipal, the municipal pool, the town hall and the civil guard. And you know that wherever you see the civil guard sign, normally it will take you to the centre of the town. Again, another Spanish flag over there, the one with the bull on it. And I imagine this is a place in Spain where they like bulls at their local festival. And here we go. No town in Spain is complete without a churreria, a place where you can buy the long donuts, the Spanish style donuts called churros. Now it's not going to be open because this is also a weekend business or an afternoon business. Probably opens up when kids get out of school. People come here for their merienda and they enjoy these very fattening snacks that are called churros and Porras. Another bar, Mesón El Cazador, the Hunter's Bar. We've got a barber shop next door as well. The bar's closed, not sure what's going on there. Tables outside, so I imagine it opens in the afternoon. Bicycle tied up over there, so that's safe to leave your bicycle lying around, not getting stolen. And here we've got some of this fresh produce that is being sold probably illegally, not sure. What do we got here? Onions, bit of fruit, garlic, berenjenas, eggplants, tomatoes, green peppers. So that's where you would come if you want to get your hands on some of that fresh produce. And again, the Spanish flag hanging over the balcony there. And although there's more life in this part of the town, still fairly quiet if you ask me. And now we're heading down to the main part of the city that we briefly saw before. Another Spanish flag hanging over the balcony there. Nice fountain or something going on here. Estanco over there, another tobacco shop. So I've seen 2 tobacco shops in the space of 100 meters or so. The youth of today here in Spain enjoying an energy drink waiting for the bus. And here we've got one of these fruit and veg shops here called Huertas. Now I'm not going to go inside, but we can see the locals out the front having a chat. Another bakery here. This looks like a dodgy bakery. I think this is one of those, what they call here a bit of everything, because we've got the bread boxes out the front, so I don't think they're making their own bread. And they sell lots of different things in that shop. Another bakery over there, and a business that I haven't seen in Spain for a long time, which is a locutorio, which is a type of telephone shop where people come to make phone calls. Now I don't know whether this business is doing well at the moment or not, because as I said, around 10-15 years ago they were very popular here in Spain, but over the years they've sort of died out because more and more people have mobile telephones. But over there, Cyber Locutorio, and another bakery next door. All right, back down to the main square where I was before. Still the same activity. People out and about having a drink. It's that time of the day here in Spain, around 1 p.m. It's the time for the aperitivo as they call it in Spanish. And as we can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 tables over there. 2 tables full down here, and people out and about at this central square where all of the bars and all of the activity takes place. And there's the town hall again, Casa Ayuntamiento. So a very relaxed lifestyles do the locals have in this town, Morata de Tajuña. Of course, the Tajuña River not far from here, and that's what gives life to all of the agriculture, I imagine. Now this would be the high street here in Morata. We've got another bakery over there, or a pastry shop, pasteleria, butcher shop next door. We've got more flags up there as we can see. I think there must be some type of local festivals going on at the moment, hence the decorations. Not sure. What's this truck here dropping off? Obviously some type of food. Got a watch shop there, or jewellery shop. Bar Porto here. Is it open? No. Another business that seems to be closed. So I've seen lots of businesses shut down, whether it's for holidays or maybe they've shut down permanently, not sure. And we've got another pharmacy over here. So that's the view from the bottom of the high street. We'll keep going down. We'll see if we can come across one of those restaurants or another restaurant and check out what the prices are. Place up there for sale, and a bank here on the corner. Now I've found another local restaurant. This one here is called the Lithinia. Let's go and check it out. Not sure whether it's open or not, but not easy to find. I'll give you the tip. Let's go and check it out. It's been here since 1984, desde 1984. And if you want to book to get into this restaurant, that's the telephone number. And let's have a look inside here. Let's have a look at the grounds. Obviously using gas bottles there, and it looks like to be a fairly big complex. Let's have a look around. Quite a decent sized parking area, and an outdoor seating area here too. Actually, we'll walk through to that gate on the other side. I think I came for lunch here once with a football team. My son's football team played in this town. I think we came here for lunch, or at least it rings a bell. I might be mistaken. but it looks familiar. Let's walk out the other side. Nice outdoor seating area here. There's no signs up saying how much the menu costs, or even if they have a menu, so no idea. Down here, see what's going on. Kids have obviously finished school or kindergarten, running around. Parents just picked them up, no doubt. And here on the left, we seem to have an elderly residence with some of the locals sitting outside enjoying the nice weather. Now, an interesting sculpture here, a sunflower sculpture. Not sure whether there's supposed to be anything growing in here, but pretty barren is the garden, and a car alarm going off right beside me here for some reason. And here's a cultural aspect of the city, the Museo Batalla del Jarama, because this was an important area during the Spanish Civil War. I'll see if I can find the museum, in fact. And we also have here some type of route, walking routes, bicycle routes where you can practice that activity through the countryside here. And here's another restaurant. In fact, I think this is the restaurant that I came to with the football team, the Maison El Cid, named after the famous warrior El Cid. And this is definitely the place that I came to, because I remember sitting outside here, and this is a huge restaurant, as we can see, and even through there we can see that there's a pool. So if you want traditional food from this area, these are the restaurants to come to. And this is where the town basically comes to an end. We've got another elderly residence over here, Residencia La Torre, and a cat over there too. And we start getting into farmland at the end of this road. And as we can see, this road sort of turns into like bike lanes, and I imagine that lots of people come here and practice cycling. And we can get an idea of just how green things are here, considering how dry it is where I live, which is not far away. But here we've got olive trees in the foreground here, with olives on them, I will say. I can see 2 or 3 olives on that tree there. And we've also got fruit trees just behind it, apple trees, I think. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, this area was known, and maybe still is known, as the Orchard of Madrid. And there's the orchard. Now, as I also mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is a new video series. I'm going to get out and about a lot more, start traveling to places like this all over the Madrid community, not just on this side of the city of Madrid, which is the southeast side. I'll head to the north, I'll head to the south, I'll head to the east, and I'll head to the west of the Madrid community, and I'll show you lots of these interesting places. Well, let's be honest, some are more interesting than others. And we'll also look at some of the history and cultural reference points in these small towns. And as I said before, this is a museum that's dedicated to the Batalla del Jarama, the river which is not far away from this town. Now, my next objective in this town is to get my hands on one of these chocolate palmiers. I just asked somebody there where the best ones were in town, and he told me that apparently it's just up this road here. So let's go and buy one of those now. Now I'm in the bakery. I bought 4 of these little chocolate snacks. I bought 2 of this one here and 2 of this one here, and I'm going to try them now, and hopefully they live up to the reputation, because everybody talks about the quality of this pastry.
2 choco, 2 Kinder, 2 blancas.
No, solo quería 4.
4.
Sí, no quiero las blancas. Las blancas no.
Blancas no, ya.
Solo estos 2.
Al final me he liado yo, perdón.
Eso es.
Gracias.
A ti.
¿Copia necesitas?
No hace falta. Gracias, hasta luego, chao.
Gracias.
Okay, so objective complete. I've got myself 4 of these chocolate snacks. I'm going to try at least one of them in just a moment when I get back to the car. But let's continue with our journey around this small town. Now, here's a street named after the current French president, Emmanuel Macron. Just joking, this street has nothing to do with Mr. Macron, or at least I don't think so. Now I'm going to find a place to sit down and eat one of these chocolate pastries. I think I'll go back to that park that we saw at the beginning of the video, if I can find it. Let's see. An interesting sign here. It says that it's a safe school path. So obviously for kids to walk up here and feel safe on their way to school. Okay, now I'm back in the park where I began this video journey. I've got my palmeras de chocolate. They're only small ones. You might have seen them in a really big size, but these are the small ones. They're called palmeritas, I believe, de chocolate. And this place here, Morata de Tajuña, is famous for these, as is this pastry shop, Pasteleria de la Torre. So let's crack into these and see if they are as good as people say. I've only bought 4 of them. She wanted to sell me 6, but I said no thank you. I'm only going to take 4 because when you get to my age you've got to watch your weight, of course. So I can't be tucking into too many of these. Now let's get them open if I can. There we go. So this is what they look like. You can probably see that there. I've got the wide angle on the camera at the moment, so you can see these 4. I've got 2 types of chocolate, dark chocolate and milk chocolate. I'm going to dig into the dark chocolate variety. Let's see if they are as good as people say. Let's So the pastry is light and fluffy. The typical Palmier pastry, that taste, if you know what I'm talking about. Thick coat of chocolate on top, and that's what people like. The thick dark chocolate, or the milk chocolate, or the white chocolate that you can also buy these things in. I'm going to go back for more. I'm going to say that it's worth visiting this town. As I clean the chocolate off my fingers, it's worth visiting this town just to buy some of these. Now you can buy them in other places around Madrid, and if you're in the Madrid community, if you're in this part of Madrid, pop into one of these pastry shops and try these out. Do yourself a favour, as they say. Now on that note, I'm going to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the video out as you normally do. I hope you enjoyed the walk around this small town here on the outskirts of Madrid, in the Madrid community, to see what life is like in these places. And as I said, more videos like this one popping up. So if you like this one, hit the like button and give me some feedback in the comment section if there's anything specific that you would like to see. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego from Morata de Tajuña. Bye.